Hey everybody, welcome to another off-the-shelf board game review. This week we're looking at Sovrano by Cambion Games. Now Sovrano is an abstract strategy game for two players where players are vying for control of the board to gain ultimate victory over their opponent. The interesting thing about this game, ignoring the fact that this game is made out of solid wood, not particle board, this is actually 100% solid wood that comes in birch and also in oak, and you can get the board in either one of these ways. Pieces are also made the exact same way, but the interesting thing about this game, besides the fantastic quality of the components, is that there's two ways to gain victory in this game. See, this is a points-based game, and it's also a domination game where you're either trying to gain the most amount of victory points at the end of the game, or you're trying to obliterate the opponent by capturing their emperor. You see, in Sovrano, the players are trying to vie for control of these various locations on the board. You have the two towers, and you also have the central crown, which can be captured by a player. As long as a player can start their turn on top of one of these towers, and I must emphasize you must start your turn on top of the tower, meaning you must play smart and strategically and making sure you're not just laying your pieces out there to eventually be captured by an opponent. But you must play strategically and play smartly, because if you can start the turn on top of one of these towers, you're going to gain one victory point. Also, if you manage to get your emperor onto the crown and control the crown at the start of your turn, again, you must play smart, play strategically, and make sure you're not opening yourself up for a move from an opponent where they can capture your emperor and instantly win the game. But if you manage to control the crown at the start of your turn, you're going to gain some extra victory points and also end the game. Whoever has the most victory points at the end of the game is going to be the grand victor of the game. Of course, ignoring and also remembering the fact that if you manage to capture your opponent's emperor, no matter how many victory points you happen to have, if you capture your opponent's emperor, you instantly win the game. Now, the really cool thing about Sovrano, besides the fact that there's multiple ways to win the game, is the fact that you have to watch your opponents very carefully, because on your turn you're allowed to take up to 3 moves, which is something that's very unique to abstract strategy games. See, in Sovrano you have all these pieces, and there are 3 different kinds of pieces. You have your guards, you have your archers, and of course you have your emperor, which is your main piece, which is what you can use to win the game or possibly lose the game if you open them up to a capture by an opponent. But in this game, you can take up to 3 moves on your turn. Now, you're required to take a minimum 1 move, but you can take up to 3 moves, and you decide every single turn how many moves you want to take, which adds a lot to the strategy of the game. Because not only do you have to watch what moves you're making up to your 3 moves, you need to watch what your opponents are doing and not just plan for what one piece can do, but what up to 3 of your enemy's pieces can do, which can add a lot to the game. See, if I move 1 piece, 1 space, and I get to take a turn, not much that you have to worry about from your opponents, but suddenly if your opponent's able to move 3 pieces on their turn, they can start endangering you and cause a lot of problems. Add on to the fact of that we have pieces that can move, the guards that can move orthogonally, we have the archers that can also move orthogonally, but the nice thing about the archers is they actually get to attack diagonally exactly 2 spaces away. So since they attack 2 spaces away exactly orthogonally, you have to worry about line of sight with your own units. You have to worry about line of sight with your opponent's units, but you also have to be strategically watching the game because, again, your opponents can move multiple pieces on their turn, causing multiple ways that they can overpower you if you're not playing smart and not watching exactly what your opponents are doing. I hope you enjoyed this quick overview of Sovrano. If you want to learn actually how to play Sovrano, check out my full tutorial video where I'll instruct you on how to play the game. You can also check out my sample gameplay video where I'll play a full game of Sovrano between the light and the dark and show you exactly what the game looks like when it's played. And finally, if you just want to bypass all that and find out my thoughts on the game, go ahead and check out my full review of the game. But quick spoiler here, the game is absolutely fantastic from the components to the actual gameplay itself. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this video series. If you enjoyed this video series, you want to see more like them, click that like button, click that subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching.